YouTube, good morning, Happy New Year, and welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'm going to be walking you through detecting threats on the Azure platform. So grab that coffee, grab that whiskey, because you already know it's going to get pretty damn juicy. Also, if you can, please drop a comment and a like down below, and hit that subscribe button. It helps support the channel. I do this for free. Come on guys, help me out. I'm not asking much. So let's get to the video. Microsoft Sentinel, detecting Azure platform threats. So since the official launch of Sentinel back in 2019, there has been quite a significant amount of community help and the Microsoft security analysts for creating analytics on Sentinel. Now there are thousands of analytics spanned across various data sources, hundreds of workbooks, hundreds of playbooks, and plenty of documentation to boot. Now, a lot of companies I've worked with don't realize there's such a great amount of Azure platform analytics, so not just security event data analytics. And the community in Microsoft have actually developed, a huge array of different Azure platform analytics. Now, when I talk about Azure platform, I mean resources that you've created that exist in Azure. So like you have a service principal and you want to monitor what it's doing or see if a user has disabled MFA for some reason. Why is that? So when you look at like security operational best practices, you really, especially in the cloud, need to make sure that no stone is left unturned. Now, I use that phrase a lot in a lot of my videos. But, I kind of see it as if you've got the data for something and there's a use case behind it, then set up a detection rule on it. But diagnosing and troubleshooting issues in applications hosted in a cloud environment can be more complex than it is in traditional on-premise or another environment. Now, we have the whole on-prem versus Azure. So, as you know, applications can be deployed in PaaS or IaaS infrastructure on-premise, in a mobile device, or some combination of these environments. So you should continuously monitor everything that evolves for that application for any unexpected changes in behavior, such as like slower response times and an unusual amount of requests. So in the cloud, more specifically Azure, if a resource you've deployed has the diagnostic log option available, then you should set that up. Any resources that you have that have the diagnostic log setting will enable you to send that data to a log analytics workspace. And then if Sentinel is enabled on top, then you can perform some security analytics. Now, I know that's not really a security issue or solution as such, but collecting all this data to analyze a problem in depth will give you a greater chance to help you identify the root cause of the issue that your application has encountered. And this may lead you to finding additional information that an adversary has compromised your application, for example. So if you have any resources that get deployed in Azure that have a diagnostic setting, get that son of a gun enabled and send that data to Sentinel. Like I mentioned, the more data or the quality data you have, the more coverage you'll have. And again, you will make sure that no stone is left unturned. With that, I have been working on putting a list together of extremely helpful and useful Azure platform detection use cases. Now, these are my personal top 5 use cases on Sentinel covering detections on the Azure platform. So I have carefully mapped these to the MITRE ATT&CK framework as best I could. They are in no particular order, but the last one is probably number 1 in my eyes. So in at number 5, we have an impact tactic. So this looks at key vault operations and detects when sensitive Azure key vault operations are used. So this could include like vault delete, key delete, secret purge, etc. Next, we have an impact tactic. So this looks at detecting when Azure backup is being removed from an Azure discovery site. So when your backup data is being deleted. So if an adversary gains access to your environment, they may maliciously delete any backups that are available in your environment within a recovery services vault, for example. We then have credential access. So this use case looks at detecting mass secret retrieval from Azure Key Vault by a single user in one operation. And number 2, we have the cloud accounts privileged escalation tactic. So this detects when changes to multiple user accounts are changed at once. Obviously, if this use case gets triggered, you should investigate this immediately if there wasn't a planned change. And now finally, we have the number 1, in my eyes, again, my personal opinion, is the Azure Firewall network scanning. And this is a discovery tactic. So I'm not saying that this is, the number 1, but it's my favorite and it's last for a reason. So this use case would detect patterns for when attackers try to move or scan from resource to resource on a network. So I'd highly suggest that you don't have to take my advice, but you look into these use cases for detecting threats on the Azure platform. Now that wraps up my top 5 use case detecting threats on the Azure platform. Thanks for watching the video. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you don't, well, that's just fine. Please subscribe, tell your friends, tell your family, tell your nan. Cheers.